this fight is obviously a lot more interesting than what we saw tonight, and then what we saw from Ben Askren and Jake Paul. I mean, I don't know, John. This is the thing. It gets into this. Like, look, T Wood's my boy. I think he's got a great chance. I think he does beat him, and I'm not being a homer. Okay, like no. I really believe. It depends. I think it depends though too. Is it a 6 round? Is it an 8 round? Is it a 10 round? What is it? That makes a difference as well. T Wood's carrying around a lot of muscle.
8 rounds.
To do a 10 round fight.
8 rounds.
If it's going to be 8 rounds, is it a real boxing match or is it not a real boxing? Is it counts on the record? Match? Is this an exhibition? I mean, what do we call it?
No. Look at Logan Paul did that whole exhibition thing before. This is a real boxing match that goes on the records. 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds. So it's the one that I'll say it this way. Jake Paul has built this little, thing, and he's making a lot of money for fighting nobodies. Now he's fighting somebody. And when I say nobodies, I'm not saying that Ben Askren is a nobody, but he's a nobody when it comes to boxing. Ben never won an MMA fight based upon having hands. He never, won an MMA fight based upon being a good striker. Ben was known as a superior wrestler. He used that great wrestling knowledge and ability that he had to just envelop people and create a situation where they could not get away from him, and he wore them out. That's why Jake Paul offered the fight to Ben Askren when he did, because he knew, hey, this is a guy that I can use his name. I can use the fact that he was a champion in MMA and say that I beat him. There are factors in this. Jake Paul is younger by a lot. He is fast. He's a decent boxer. Woodley in himself is an older fighter, no doubt about it, but he's got a good chin. Yes, Tyron got hurt in his last fight, but if you go back and you look at all the fights and you take a look at the fights where Tyron has lost, he's lost against quality opponents. So Tyron is an outstanding fighter. He's not a bad boxer, but he's not a boxer. And this is what I always look at is he fights stand up like an MMA guy. He now needs to fight it like a boxer. There is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference in style, and he needs to be in the gym and start to just work that style. In fact, I think his experience in fighting, I think that his, the knowledge that he's gained, I think it gives him an advantage as far as the actual fight. I'm looking at it. It's an even fight, really. I think that T Wood should win it. But could Jake Paul beat him? Yes. What T Wood needs to do is he needs to put Jake Paul on his back foot. Jake Paul is a come forward fighter when he can use length and he can extend out with his shots. He has power and he feels comfortable. Put him on his back foot, put pressure on him, make him have to back up in the fight. Things start to change. That ability of what you were doing in the past, it all starts to go away. And Tyron has the ability to do exactly what I'm saying. He can put him on his back foot, he can put pressure on him, and he can put shots on him that slow him down, hurt him, and get him out of the fight.
The problem that I see with that game plan, John, is that Tyron has never been known for his conditioning. Like, he's someone that he can put the pace on you a little bit, but like he's someone that's kind of like let the fight come to him. He's countered off of that. He's used his wrestling, his abilities to go ahead, and he's not a pressure forward fighter. And if you're changing him now for one boxing match, that's going to be a problem.
I'm not changing him for one boxing match. And this is my whole point. This is possibly the most important fight of Tyron Woodley's life.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the reason why is he wins this one, he gets a second one. It's in the contract that Jake Paul gets an automatic rematch. All right. And if he gets a second one, guess what, Josh?
More money.
Hello, brother.
Yeah.
So you want to make life-changing money? This is the fight. This is the one that you have got to do everything you can from this date until August 28th. You will bust your ass and you will do everything to put yourself in a position where fatigue is not even part of the fucking question.
Yeah, but John, you have to remember that I'm going to throw a total monkey wrench in this whole situation.
Yeah.
As much as you want to say, and we're going to say like, oh, Jake Paul gets an automatic rematch. Let's just say the first one doesn't do the numbers that Showtime thinks it's going to do. They could wipe this whole thing clean and be like, nah, we're good. We're done with this. So as much as I know it sounds great, like, yeah, you can make, I agree with you. It's T Wood needs to win this fight, whether there's another fight or not. Like, just for yourself, you need to make sure you win this fucking fight. Like, you've got to put just
for your mental sanity.
Yeah. Yep. But and I think I'm not even going to say that. I think T Wood has definitely it should be favored to him by not a little bit. I think by a lot, because the actual experience itself, in terms of just the rounds given over the years that T Wood's put in. I know maybe wrestling rounds, but it's still competitive rounds.
Yeah.
Competitive rounds of being an athlete itself at the highest level. T Wood's been there. And that's the thing. I feel like, whereas Ben, sure, he's been there in all stages of that, but he was never a stand-up guy. T Wood's got knockouts on his record. I don't think Ben has any, but
0.
anyways, you know what I mean? Like, T Wood's got he's got highlight reel knockouts of people as well, and so he's got the power. I've trained with him. I've sparred with him. I've worked with him. He's fast. I know people are like, oh, he's 39. I'm sorry, but he's still fast. He's 39 years old. He's still fast. He's still explosive. And if you go through his last 4 losses, he lost to Usman. Yep. He lost to Gilbert Burns. He lost to Covington, and he lost to Vicente Luque. Yeah. Those are 4 fights. All those guys are in the top 5, top 7.
Yeah,
like 7. Those guys are good.
Yep.
Like, I've seen other fighters in the UFC still there that have lost to lesser people.
Come on,
this guy's in his fight with Vicente Luque. It was a good fight up until he got a little tired and and then he took some heavy shots. But he had some moments in that first round as well. But I'm saying that he has the ability still to finish this fight. I just don't want to change him. And that scares me a little bit, is he needs to put Jake Paul on his back foot. But can he do it for 8 rounds though, John? That's the thing. Boxing rounds are different than MMA rounds. I know, because there's more wrestling. There's times where we can stall things out. Boxing, you can't really do that a whole lot. He's going to have to fight. He's going to have to keep his hands up. He's not somebody that has, because of all that muscle mass he has on his shoulders and his back and his chest and everything, he's going to tend to slow down probably around 4 and 5. And that scares me a little bit, but I still think the experience should play through and he should be able to win this fight.
I look at it this way. Tyron Woodley, no matter what it is, has gone 25 minutes fighting as a professional. Right now, Jake has gone 4 minutes. It's a big difference. Big difference. You start getting into those later rounds and that time is there. When it's your first time, it's tough. It's tough. And so I just look at it. This is a fight. I give Jake Paul credit. I'll tell him right now, I'll give you credit, man. You're fighting a real guy. You're fighting a guy that can hurt you. You're fighting a guy that can actually win the fight. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And I give, Tyron credit. Hey, good job of taking the fight. Now do what you're supposed to do to make sure that you win the fight.
100% agree.